Piranesi actually started out a lot of the work which I'm doing now. You know, reimagining a certain memory that's been ingrained in me. So the Piranesi's imaginary prisons are, I can sort of recall them. But if I try to redraw them, I could not make a photographic copy of them. I would have an emotional memory of them, which to me is almost more important than the actual photographic memory. So I was working with my wife on our latest collaboration, which was called A Bookmobile for Dreamers. Yeah, this is when I first started using the book pages, and I kind of liked it. Of course, Bookmobile for Dreamers, the book pages had a different, had a meaning for that as well. And that project was really about kind of mourning the lost art of browsing through stacks of books in a library, which we just don't do that much anymore. We're going to Google and Amazon and have them recommend something based on our prior searches. If you like this, you may like that, and so on. But you don't get the surprise anymore. Last year I was invited by the MTA to do a piece for the 100th anniversary of New York, of the Grand Central Terminal. And I thought, wouldn't it be great if we took this grand concourse and repurposed it, took the glass sides out and allowed it to be a hangar for airships, Zeppelins. And a lot of this is also coming into my work, that kind of the alternate possible realities we could have had if certain things hadn't happened. So it's all kind of partially fantasy world, but deeply rooted in reality. Babel has also been a reoccurring theme ever since I made the print, the planet prints based on the Little Prince. The first one over here was, of course, my home planet with an ongoing, I can spin this if you want, with an ongoing fence going all the way around. The absurdity of my home country, Germany, being still divided before I left, keeping one people from going to the other side. Here is my Tower of Babel, which is, of course, based on the scale between the planet and the high-rise. The high-rise is very much based on what's being built in my neighborhood here in Brooklyn right now on 4th Avenue. All these high-rises. So my own interpretation of this is I would like to tear them all out with a root ball and hurl them out of outer space. The final scene of my Piranesi video number 2, I did also 2 versions of that Piranesi, you will actually see this planet slowly spinning into outer space from a Brooklyn street scene. I did a couple of other ones, the Congestion Planet over here, the Water Planet, which is my planet of loneliness. Yeah, Congestion Planet just kind of signifies New York for me, kind of lots of people, dense. Also, what fascinates me about language is that it's not just about a literal translation from one language to another, but it's also about a whole view of how the world works. There's one language in which people do not look forward into the future. The future is not ahead of them. The future is behind them because they cannot see it. Their past is in front of them because they can see it. And that, to me, is sort of one of those beautiful moments where language describes the same thing, but in a completely different and eye-opening way to me, too. Where I think the world would be so much poorer if we just spoke one language. It would be sad. But by speaking so many languages, by having so many different cultures, by having so many people interact in ways, and maybe having conflicts too, but it makes the world so much richer.